What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the Hardys leaving TNA, numerous contracts expiring in TNA, fans hijack Triple H's appearance at Crown Jewel, did WWE alter the audio at Crown Jewel, the Backstage reaction to WWE's Match of the Year, what was CM Punk doing at Crown Jewel, a wrestler confirms retirement, more cuts planned, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at the Hardys leaving TNA. The top of today's news is the question of whether Matt and Jeff Hardy could be saying goodbye to TNA wrestling. The Hardys, who've been competing since the 90s, haven't slowed down and they're currently holding NXT, TNA, and House of Glory Tag Team Championships. The Hardys are even facing longtime rivals, the Dudleys, at TNA's Bound for Glory in one last match ever, a reminder of nostalgia's powerful role in wrestling, even though all four wrestlers are a combined age of about 206. However, their run in TNA may be winding down, as Fightful Select is reporting that their contracts could be expiring. The Fightful report noted that the Hardys signed with TNA in November 2024, and it's unclear whether they've signed a new deal. Matt and Jeff Hardy are still incredibly popular, and their recent work has introduced them to a new generation of fans. They've also reportedly impressed management with their work ethic, including their willingness to participate in meet and greets with fans at shows. It also helps that Jeff is now completely clean from drugs and alcohol. Now it remains to be seen whether the Hardys will continue their work in TNA or NXT or jump back to the WWE's main roster. While WWE fans would undoubtedly be seeing the Hardys back, it's unknown how much of a push they would receive. Although they're likely to get an initial push, fans might not be thrilled to see them brought back just to be put over new acts. Whatever the case, the Hardys' WWE Hall of Fame induction seems imminent, with the team possibly joining the WWE's 2026 class, and if not, it's gotta be 2027. Where would you guys like to see the Hardys? Should they stay put in TNA or jump back to WWE for one final ever run? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, 12 TNA contracts expiring. Now the Hardy Boys aren't the only act whose TNA contracts are expiring. According to Fightful Select, at least 12 contracts will be expiring soon, with the inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay and Cedric Alexander's names coming up. It'll be interesting to see who TNA decides to keep, and even more interesting to see if WWE picks up any talent TNA releases. Next up, some behind the scenes news from Crown Jewel. The Crown Jewel has entered the history books, but there's plenty of behind the scenes news on WWE's Perth PLE. First, the Aussie fans hijacked the post show. Now, the wrestling adage that anything can happen in the WWE was definitely in full effect after yesterday's Crown Jewel, as Ringside News reports that fans hijacked a post show promo from Triple H. During his on-camera remarks, the crowd broke out chanting for Edge and even sang his entrance theme, Metalingus, while Triple H continued talking. Despite the interruption, he never addressed the chants or even reacted. That wasn't the only message fans had for WWE. The chants escalated throughout the segment and included "We want Edge," "MJF," "F off Saudi," and "We want Mania." Wrestling fans are some of the most vocal fans in any entertainment medium, and it sounds like many are still seething over WWE's decision to run WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia in 2027. As Ringside News noted, Edge's AEW deal is believed to run into 2026, so there's little chance of the rated R superstar appearing in WWE for now. Pretty sure on that next post-show press conference, they're gonna have it indoors rather than outside with the crowd. Next up, ESPN's less than glowing review of Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel wasn't perfect, but it was well received by many fans, especially after that shit show of WrestlePalooza. However, ESPN's resident WWE critic, Andreas Hale, wasn't blown away by the show and only gave it a rating of B, and contrast this with the C grade ESPN gave WrestlePalooza. Here's a quick summary of the review. A show that stumbled out of the gate with a relatively tame street fight and a far too brief fight between women's champions was rescued by an absolutely stellar match between Cena and Styles that put an excellent bookend to their rivalry. Rollins finally getting his comeuppance against Rhodes by any means necessary, and the women's tag match were both strong and anchored a memorable bounce back for WWE after a middling WrestlePalooza. Some fans are really wondering what WWE needs to do to earn an A grade. Now in the review, Hale rated Cena vs Styles with an A, but gave a B to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky vs the Kabuki Warriors and Rhodes' match, and a C grade to Stephanie Vaquer vs Tiffany Stratton and Roman Reigns vs Bronson Reed. Now in Hale's defense, many fans were disappointed with Vaquer vs Stratton, not only because the match was boring or full of miscues, but because WWE only gave it roughly 10 minutes, compared to the lengthy runs for the show's other 4 matches. It seemed as just the women were getting into their stride, the finish just occurred. What do you guys think? Did Crown Jewel really deserve a B grade? Is that fair enough, considering that Wrestlepalooza got a C? I mean, the B grade wouldn't have been so bad if Wrestlepalooza was given a D or an E. Do you think ESPN management involved with its deal to stream WWE PLEs are unhappy with the quality of the first two shows, or is this just one critic sharing his opinion? Next up, what was the backstage reaction to WWE's quote-unquote match of the year? Now, John Cena vs AJ Styles is still being praised by fans and wrestlers, with plenty of chatter about the match deserving a match of the year accolade. While that remains to be seen, WWE superstars reportedly let Cena and Styles know how they felt, with Fightful Select reporting that both superstars received a standing ovation backstage from their fellow wrestlers. Plenty of superstars also praised the match on social media, but one in particular was The Undertaker, saying "Thank you John Cena and thank you AJ Styles, a masterclass and beautiful tribute to wrestling." The WWE Universe said it, but that was awesome. But in other news, word has it that AJ Styles was completely unaware of John Cena's pre-match tribute. In case you missed the show, Cena handed a note to ringside announcer Alicia Taylor before the show that contained a short but touching tribute to the Phenomenal One, praising his work in TNA and New Japan, even mentioning AJ as the ace of the Bullet Club. Of course, there was no heat on Cena for the Bullet Club reference, and it's difficult to imagine Cena would even care about any blowback at this point in his career. Next up, did WWE alter the audio at Crown Jewel? The promotion ran into an embarrassing situation when the performance of the United States national anthem was greeted with a round of boos from some fans in the audience. And now it's been reported in the Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE had to go into damage control mode. They had to turn the sound really low. Someone who I know who was at the show basically said that it was a lot worse than it came off on television, which I'm just shocked that they even did it. They also commented on WWE's questionable practice of having someone perform the American national anthem at international events. Do they know what the rest of the world thinks of our country right now? That's being pretty out of touch. They booed our national anthem. They played it in Australia. They would do it in Canada. You basically can't do that anywhere but the United States these days. This isn't the first time WWE management has been criticized for being out of touch, and it probably won't be the last. Next up, WWE Talent Absent from Australia. That's interesting news concerning who went to Australia for Crown Jewel's Raw and SmackDown, as Fightful Select is reporting that WWE didn't bring the entire roster to Australia. Given the current size of the roster, one would imagine cost-cutting played a major factor in leaving wrestlers with no programs at home. Next up, what was CM Punk doing at Crown Jewel? CM Punk was actually at Crown Jewel, but what was Wrestling Straight Edge superstar doing there? Ex-user Benny Please managed to actually get a photo showing Punk watching the Cena vs Styles match in the crowd. Benny Please was reportedly in attendance and wrote, "I'm really watching AJ Styles vs John Cena with CM Punk right next to me. What is this?" It's unknown if Punk was in Perth for any meet and greets or other official WWE business, but he got to see a fantastic match. Next up, Crown Jewel's main event. Now, was Cody Rhodes vs Seth Rollins the original plan for Crown Jewel's main event? Some fans were asking this, especially since Rhea Ripley was wrestling in her hometown of Perth. However, Fightful Select reports that the men's Crown Jewel Championship match was always the plan for the main event. Next up, a surprise in store for TNA Bound for Glory. The TNA's flagship pay-per-view Bound for Glory is just hours away, and it appears that the promotion has some big surprises in store for fans, including for its Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Fightful Select is reporting that TNA sources claim that there will be additional surprises in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet at Bound for Glory. Now, it's already been announced that YouTuber Brandon Collymore, aka BDE, is going to be in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, and this is a huge win for him. Next up, a wrestler confirms retirement. It's over. Former Knockouts champion Ash by Elegance is now confirming that a retirement is real and that fans shouldn't expect her back in the ring. Ash recently informed fans at a virtual signing that she is done, even offering to sell her retirement shirt. $30 for this top. It is worn with me and Paige Van Zandt in a photo shoot, but also this is a shirt I retired in. It's $30. My retirement t-shirt. Now, Ash fans can take some comfort though, as she's added, "Guys, thank you so much. It was an honor, a pleasure. Thanks for always tuning in and supporting me. I might not be in the ring, but I'll still be busy. TNA has opened their doors for me and allowed me to do things backstage, just not in the ring. Never say never, so maybe one day again." Now, we're wishing Ash by Elegance all the best in a new role. Next up, more cuts planned in WWE. Should fans and more importantly wrestlers expect any more WWE cuts following the ones made earlier this week? There were 12 releases, including the WWE deciding not to renew contracts or talent not agreeing on new deals of developmental wrestlers, including NXT superstars, wrestlers in Evolve, and wrestlers in the WWE ID program. The Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez recently informed fans that more cuts could be coming this week. Now, while some of these cuts may have been expected, one was definitely more surprising: the release of Kylie Rae. And the Wrestling Observer Meltzer had pointed out that the WWE's decision to cut her while she was pregnant really raises questions. The Kylie Ray one, from an optics standpoint, of course looks terrible because she's pregnant. And you know, the thing is, it's like these contracts are very low money. I don't know the exact number, but they're very low. He continued on saying, because the cost is so low, I just felt like you can let her give birth. Give her a couple of months. Don't cut a woman when she's pregnant. I just think that, you know, when you're a billion-dollar company and you're paying next to nothing, it's just kind of like bad. It was about optics that aren't worth it. Now, as Brian Alvarez mentioned in The Observer, the WWE cuts were not budget related. The reason behind them was that some wrestlers just weren't cutting it on the roster. And finally, Santos Escobar plans Nixed. And last but not least, did Santos Escobar's new WWE deal nix his previous plans to appear at New York's Comic-Con? Fightful Select reports that Santos was rumored to appear at this year's entertainment extravaganza, at least until he decided to renew his WWE deal. While he may not be there, several WWE superstars are booked for the event. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.